Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesday. We are back. We are back. We are back. Finally back, y'all, for another great season to talk all things work, wage, and wealth mobility. This is a weekly broadcast. Yes. So if you are someone who's been tuning in for years, then yes, we are back. It's a weekly broadcast brought to you by the Selma Center for Nonviolence and the Black Belt Community Foundation, two extraordinary organizations that come together to make up TRHT Selma. That is TRHT, where truth meets love, racial healing, and creates transformation. I am your host, Miss Lydia Chapman, and Wealth Building Wednesday is where real stories meet real strategy, and where everyday people learn how to turn work into wealth, and goals into movement. Every single week, we will explore how successful individuals are building mobility in their careers, their finances, and their lives. Because the truth is, wealth mobility is closer than most of us realize. So sometimes all it takes is one brave decision, one small step, one moment of saying, why not me? Why not me? Right? So settle in, grab your notebook, and bring an open mind to this conversation. This is Wealth Building Wednesday, your midweek reminder that opportunity isn't just out there somewhere. It is right here waiting for you to step into it. And speaking of someone who has stepped into it, we are going to have a wonderful time with a beautiful lady who is a mompreneur. She is an extraordinary lady that I first connected with doing events for mothers. Right. And so we are going to have a conversation today with Miss Patriece Johnson. Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesday.
Hi, glad to be here.
Yes. So now you are a mompreneur, right? Now we both have jobs, but entrepreneurship is a heart, right? It's heart work.
Yes. It's something I couldn't get away from if I tried.
Listen, okay, so I totally can relate. We have a lot in common, but want you to tell the people, share with folks, what is your business? And I want to say, what is your small business? Because see, we hear people say, girl, what you got going on with your little business? Right now, little business is different than small business. The fact is that small business makes up the majority of our economy. But little business is slyway shade. So we don't deal in little business. We deal in small business.
Exactly.
So what is your small business?
So I am a freelance brand strategist for small business owners and content creators. I kind of stepped into the content creator lane recently, but my heart is totally with small business owners. I love to see small business owners find their lane and grow from there. And so what it is that I do, also, let me put this out there, I'm not currently taking any clients at the moment. I'm booked and I've got a million other things going on, so I'm not even gonna drown myself like that. But what I do is I take small business owners or content creators, and I help them find their lane so that they can actually figure out what it is that they're doing. Because a lot of times people jump into business and they're not sure what they're supposed to be doing, how to do it, who they're talking to, why they're talking to them. So I help them zone in on their target audience and how to help convert, and how to grow their target audience.
So now what you do, and I'm so glad that you just told people that you are booked and busy, honey, because I promise you it's like, oh, okay, let me reach out to her now because I should be her new client, right?
Yes, so, I am booked, honey. I am like I said, when I jumped over into content creators,
yeah.
Whew,
So I want to know, like, what excites you about entrepreneurship? Because working with other entrepreneurs and being an entrepreneur yourself, something has to excite you.
I think this is where the Virgo in me comes out. Control. Okay. I get to control my time. I get to control my income. I get to control who I work with. When you're working with somebody under someone else, when you're working for somebody else, you can't control who you service. You can't control that income. I mean, you can negotiate that income.
Right. You better.
You're not in control over it, you know. So that freedom of entrepreneurship and actually getting to do what it is I love to do, you know, while I'm in control. Yeah, like I said, I think it's the Virgo in me that just love being in control.
So we are indeed Virgo sisters. And so control is a thing, right, for a lot of folks. And the thing
Yeah.
is that I've learned that as an entrepreneur, you have to, one, all money is not good money. So like you said, being able to control who you work with, when you work with folks, and setting those boundaries, right? That's a B word that it's almost like it's a cuss word. But it's a reality, right?
Yes.
Of being an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, happen to sometimes, like you said, all money ain't good money. You don't want to work with just anybody. I've had to cut off a client before because it just wasn't like it was a small business owner who thought I was just going to do everything for him, and I'm like, no, you've got to jump in at some point. I'm not going to be here forever. You've got to jump in at some point. And he got out of this world nasty. Sometimes you gotta just back up. You gotta step away and say, hey, I gotta let this go.
Well, honey, is it my business or your business?
Okay.
Sometimes I need to be on the LLC. Look.
You just gotta step away. It's like, hey, I'm sorry. The stress ain't worth it. The stress ain't worth it.
So when you consider your journey, right, from beginning to where you are now, when you consider your journey as an entrepreneur, like, is there one word that just kind of jumps out at you to describe your journey?
Let me tell you this. I can't. I really don't even have one word, because over the years, because what it is, I'm what you would call a serial entrepreneur. Over the years, I've done plenty of different type of business, whether it's product based or service based. And the reason I say I can't describe it, because both lanes have their own type of thing going on. And but it's a journey. I'll put it like that. That's the word I'll use. Journey. Okay. It's truly a journey. Because I put it like this: half time, I don't know what God doing.
You know what? And I'm glad you brought that up, because stepping out on faith is something that, you know, everybody doesn't necessarily want to do it, right? Especially if you're in a comfortable 9-to-5, where you're making what you want to make, but then you also have this yearning, this desire, like to say, wait a minute, there's something more here. And so some folks just don't want to take that step out on faith to say, wait a minute, let me make more. So when you think about your journey, what has been your greatest challenge or challenges that you want to share?
I would say my greatest challenge is is like where I am right now, finding that balance.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Finding that balance between being a mom, running a business where I am completely booked, and still having a full-time job. I'm learning to find a fairly decent balance. And that's something that has been my weakness before. So I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. Okay. Finding balance.
Well, now balance is a great thing. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because I also want to talk to you about your greatest successes, because we lead in with the challenges, but your greatest successes. But I wanted to go to this word balance and ask you about, like, in your experience with working with other entrepreneurs, is that something that you see a lot of folks kind of struggling with creating that work-life entrepreneurial balance?
Yes, especially when they're trying to build an online presence, build that community online and still have it. Because, with putting out content and stuff online, because a lot of small business owners, I tell them all the time, if social media is how you're going to put your brand out there, you have to turn into a content creator a lot of the time. And you have to find that balance where if you still going to be a parent and work a full-time job and put out that content that you really have to work on, because running a business has so many different lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're wearing all of the hats, when you are a small business, you know, you wear all the hats until you can afford to delegate. So wearing all those hats, you have to learn how to find a balance with everything. And like I said, that's something I'm doing. That's something I get to help other people do, you know, as, you know, with small business owners. And that's like one of my greatest successes, just watching them grow and find that balance. Because when you can find, as a small business owner or content creator, when you can define your brand, when you can define your brand more, it makes building your content more. It makes communicating with your target audience easier, because you've built that confidence in what you do and who you service. You get what I'm saying?
I do. And it really, so finding your why seems to be like a huge part of starting your business.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Find that why. I always tell people, when you're starting a business, find those whys. When you're starting a business, think about something, like, for people that don't know what they want to do. You know, there's people that want to start a business but don't know what they want to do. I tell them, think of something that was needed yesterday, something that's needed today, and something that's going to be needed tomorrow.
Okay.
And by yesterday, I mean something that was needed years ago. By today, I mean present time. By in the future, you know, tomorrow, I mean in the future, something that's always needed. And then say, okay, why would someone need that? And then ask yourself another why, and then give it another why. You know, feed into the whys. And that's how you're gonna zone in on who you service.
Okay. And knowing your target market is at, like, who you're servicing is important as well.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking of the fact that you've moved into content creation, right? That's super relevant. But is that, like, depending on who you're reaching, who you're targeting? Because if your services are dedicated to folks 65 and older, social media may not, or is that true? I'm more about line. Look,
I'll put it like this right here. We're not used to seeing older people on social media, but I promise you, they're on there.
Okay.
They're on there. They're on. I've seen older women say, "Oh, I found this on TikTok." What in the world are you doing on TikTok? But they do. They are on there. I promise you. They may not know how to pronounce it, but they are on there. They know how. But I also tell small business owners, like, when it comes to content creators, you know, they pick a platform, what platform they want to jump on. When it comes to business owners, you know, they've got different lanes that they can go into. They can go into any platform. They can do Pinterest. They can do LinkedIn. They can do TikTok. They can do Facebook. They have different lanes that they can jump into outside of, you know, just social media.
And so, wait, so you said that content creators will tend to, or should, pick just one lane, if you will?
I wouldn't say just one lane. As far as content creators, pick a niche.
Okay.
And a lot of people say, why do I need a niche? Everybody's on Facebook doing everything. No, you got to really zone in and look at what they're doing. Some of your biggest content creators, they have a niche, whether it's a lifestyle, whether they're doing fashion. And it may be just the fact that you watch them so much, you don't even realize that that's why you're watching them. You don't even realize that you're watching them because of what they wear. You don't even realize that you're watching them because of what they're eating or what they're doing on a daily basis. You don't even realize that's why you watch them. That's why they become so successful. That's why it was so easy for them to build their community, because you get so zoned in on them, you don't even realize why you're even watching them. But that's just how good they are with picking their niche and actually sticking to it.
So this is what I was about. I'm glad you said sticking to it, because that was literally about to be my next question. Like, how important is it? Because if I'm a content creator and I
Mm-hmm.
have experienced a huge amount of success, I have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers. What if I want to transition from, let's say I've been doing, because and I could watch him for just over and over again. There's a guy on social media who watches other people in the kitchen and comments on what they're doing. And so what if I've been doing that, right? I've been commenting, I've been recreating other people's videos, right? Remixing them. And that's what I built my bread and butter from. But now I want to inspire people now, or now I want to do storytelling. Like what is that? Is that recommended? If not, like just help
I'll
us.
put it. I'll put it like this: is you can change over. It is possible. I've seen people do it.
Okay.
It's just that when you first do it, make sure that your community is strong behind you. Make sure you built a community that is strong behind you, and slowly make that changeover. Don't just flip it and expect everybody to be like, they gonna be like, this ain't your typical. Because honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I actually saw a content creator do that recently, and he couldn't figure out for the life of him what happened. And what he had done was he used to remix the content, or stitch the videos. That's what he was doing. He was stitching videos, and the videos he was doing before, it wasn't what he's doing now. Now he all of a sudden he's going into trying to rate these TV shows, and his viewers, they scroll past it. They scroll past it because what are you talking about? This is what you used to talk about. And once Facebook realized that, okay, they just scrolling by you. They don't want to see you, so we're not even finna feed them to you no more. We'll just stop feeding you to their news feed.
Oh wow! So that's the key to the algorithm is staying in people's face.
Yep, staying with what they're used to. Don't change it up. Don't do that to your folks. Don't change it up out of the blue. Like, give them time if that's what you're gonna do. And then on top of that, it's okay to announce that. If you got a community that's behind you, it's okay to announce that. Tell them that.
And I would think that people, if they really support you, would be able to handle that, because we all go through changes. We are, and you might want to just transition in that way.
Yeah, and the thing is, explain it to them. Give them a why. Say, hey, this is something that I don't feel in my soul is the right thing to do right now. This isn't what I want to do anymore. I see myself going in this direction, and I think you guys will like it. Something like that, tell them, talk to them. That's your community. Talk to them. They deserve that much. If they've stuck with you that long, they deserve that much. Tell them, okay, I'm about to go into this lane a little bit and slowly start drifting over.
Okay. So now we talked about your challenges, and you talked about some of the challenges that have existed for some of your clients. We've talked about some things that folks need to do who are content creators or even considering going into content creation. What about some of your successes? Because I know you've had many of them. What are some of the successes that stand out?
I've had many successes in every business I've run. And I'm a thing is, I would try it. I promise you. Like you said, we have done events before, with moms, and that's when I did my postpartum doula, and then I had a diaper bag line. Before that, I was doing hygiene products for women. Girl, I think with that alone, so many. I know with the diaper bag line, I have made it to my brand made it to 5 different countries, and that was the best. That was the best feeling ever, girl. I am in Australia. I am in the UK. Girl, it's amazing. It's amazing. I've made it to 5 different countries and I've enjoyed it all. And then as far as the hygiene products, I kid you not, people still ask about those products. And every blue moon, I'll pop out and say, hey, I'm about to make a few bottles of this. I sell out every single time because of how I branded it and
Oh,
because of
wow.
how great the product was. So every blue moon, yeah, I pop up with a few bottles of soap or something, and it sells out that same day.
So now you've had a whole lot of successes. You are an extraordinary entrepreneur in that you've been able to transition in and out of different businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And still experience success when you pop out every now and then with things. I think when I first met you, you had the diaper bag line, which
Yes.
was so fascinating to me because I'm like, oh wow, like people really are looking for stuff like that. And girl, yes.
Yes, there is a market for diaper bags, a huge market for diaper bags. And a matter of fact, that's one of my babies right there.
Yes, I was about to say I
Yeah,
wanted to
that's
ask
one of
you.
my babies right there. Because each release that I did, I tried to keep one of them, but there was one bag. There was one bag that I did not keep one, and that was the one that went worldwide. And I couldn't. I had one that I kept to myself. I had it in the wrapper, and I had a lady email me and ask, because the thing with that one was it was only one release on it. It was only one release on that bag. So right now there's only 50 of those bags out there. There's only 50 of those bags out in the entire world. And then I also was able to, I had a contract with, I can't even think of the name of the program, but because of my connection with certain birth workers, I was able to make a connection with the prison system to work with moms that were pregnant and was having, they were having their babies while they were in prison. And so I had a contract with them where they would buy my bags in bulk and they would give them to the moms, and whoever the baby went home with got one of my bags.
Oh, wow.
So that was exciting. That was exciting. I remember one time on TikTok, actually, I was watching this girl's TikTok video. She was getting ready to go into the hospital. Tell me why I log into this girl's video and
It's your
she's
bag.
packing one of my bags. Yes,
Oh, that's
it
got to
was
be an
so
amazing feeling.
Girl, it was so exciting. So I do plan one day to bring those bags back. I do plan to bring them back. So because they were affordable and they were durable bags, and I enjoyed it. I really did.
Super stylish. Yeah. So yeah. I don't have look, I would have to find some other use for it. I wouldn't be putting diapers in there.
And
But
that's what I did. I use it for other things because I love bags with pockets. In my bags, all of my bags had plenty of pocket space. They were very spacious. So, and I had other women that bought them for other use besides a diaper bag.
yes. So now a part of what you do, what you've continued to do is specializing in helping people. And you mentioned that at the top of the show, to market themselves, right? And so like if you could give like maybe two pieces of advice to folks who are not yet starting or just started a brand new business, like what are some things that folks need to do to get set up and market themselves well?
Know what problem you solve. If nothing else, know what problem you solve. People pay for results. It don't matter the price tag on it. People pay for results. And you know what? I won't say the price tag doesn't matter because it does. That's the second one. The price tag does matter. I had a coach one time that told me, don't do prostitute prices. She called them prostitute prices.
Oh,
Don't
not the
do
front
prostitute
at all.
She said, don't do prostitute prices.
Okay.
And I thought that was so funny. So every time, because she was like, that's what you look like you're putting out. When you offer something, and every time people look up and you got a sale going on, that's all they're going to look for from you.
Mm.
And then I'll give you another piece of advice as an entrepreneur, if you want to see yourself grow. And I tell every entrepreneur this: keep a millionaire phone number. Keep 3 millionaire phone numbers in your pocket. If you haven't found just one, you ain't hit the right rooms yet. You need to keep connecting. You need to keep networking. Go to as many events as you can. Keep networking. Read as much as you can. That's another thing I've run across with small business owners. They don't like to read. I promise you, read as much as you can, especially when it's free. Like right now, I have and I know we was going to get to this part, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. When it comes to, like I said, I'm not taking clients, but I do have a free online community on my website. I give away free tips, free strategies for both small businesses and for content creators. I'm constantly giving out free advice on there. Take all the free stuff that you can right now. I promise you, every time someone does a free webinar, I'm in there. Any type of free webinar where I feel like I can get some type of results out of it, if I feel like I can learn from it, I'm in there. And then when you get to where you feel like you're in these webinars and taking these classes and you're not learning anything, that means it's time to level up. And I worked with one business owner. He owned a cell phone company in Montgomery, and he paid $2,000 to be in this room full of other entrepreneurs. I remember him saying Charlemagne the God was there. Tabitha Brown was there, some other people. He said, but everything felt so generic. I said, it's time to elevate. It's time to elevate. It's time to pay more to get into these VIP rooms. And that's something that I learned from one of my millionaire friends. And he said, it's time to elevate. And a lot of the rooms that he pays to be in, my millionaire friends, the rooms that they paid to be in, they paid tens, $20,000s of dollars to be in those rooms. And I'm like, what? And they was like, the things that you'll learn in those rooms, you're not going to learn for $2,000, and you definitely not going to learn for free. So as you elevate, it's going to cost you, but the reward is even bigger.
Wow. So now you have dropped a whole lot of great information for us. Apart, you said you have the free community connected to your website. I want you to tell us about these pop-up shops, because one of the things, and I know that you're not doing them right now, but one of the things that you have done so superbly well is to host pop-up shops for small business owners. So, like, what made you do that? And what are some of the things that we can share with folks as far as your recommendations about for businesses who choose to participate in pop-ups? Why pop-ups and festivals may be or should be something that folks welcome as opportunities?
Okay, here's the thing with pop-up shops. They're great for networking. Even if you don't get a sale there, network with other businesses. Because I can say there were times where some of my events it wasn't full of buyers, but we still had a room full of small business owners, and they were able to introduce themselves. I give them a chance to introduce themselves and what their services and products are, and they're able to network with other people, whether it's people selling the same things or different things. They're able to talk to one another. They learn so much off of each other alone. And so I always tell them, pass out business cards to each other, network amongst each other. And I have, like, to this day, I have business owners that have become friends. They have become friends, and I had some that was at every single event with me, and I always tell them, you're going to get in what you put out. With every pop-up event that I did, I made sure to give everybody their own flyer. I said, now this is what I need you to do. I need you to advocate for yourself, even though it's my event, but let everybody know who you are, where you'll be. Learn how to advertise yourself. Learn how to advertise yourself and bring your own community in. Like, I can bring in buyers all day, but they're probably going to be coming to see me or somebody else. It doesn't promise that they're going to buy from you. So make sure that you market yourself. Learn how to market yourself and let people know where you'll be, what you're doing, and what you'll have. I used to do pop-up shops, and I'm going to tell you, I used to test my marketing. I used to do pop-up shops in Montgomery, but what I would do, I'd be one of the first ones to get there. And you would think that I would choose one of the seats at the front door, one of the tables at the front door. No, I would go all the way to the back of the room. I had to go all the way to the back of the room, and the guy that used to host the pop-up shops, he would ask, he was like, P, you be the first one to get here, but you always go to the back of the room. Why do you do that? I said, I'm testing my marketing when I do that. I know I've been talking to people nonstop, telling them where I'm going to be, what I'm going to have, and how much it's going to be, and the benefits of what I'm going to have and everything. I've created my community. Now I want to see if my community is going to show up. And every time they did. And the crazy thing is, I would be in the back of the room, which means they had to pass by small businesses that were selling the same thing that I was selling. But because I had created my community, they would bypass those tables and come and find me. And I sold out every single time.
Wow. So this is great information for folks who are interested in participating in pop-up shops, interested in participating in festivals. I know one of the things that we've tried to be pretty consistent is making sure that with the concert series and things that we have happening here in Selma and in downtown Selma, we want to make sure that folks have their, like you said, the separate flyer or a joint flyer. Right, yeah. Where you can promote yourself. Hey, this is where I'm going to be. Oh, yes. I love the fact that you said use it as a networking opportunity.
Yes, get out there, talk to everybody. I mean, and another thing I tell them, you're going to get that same energy in that you put out. Okay. No matter what size the pop-up is, you're going to get, if somebody walks into this pop-up event and you're sitting down with this crazy look on your face, who's going to walk up to you? Who's going to walk up to the grouch at the table? Nobody. Stand up, give them that energy. That same energy you put out, that's what you're going to get back. Nobody wants to shop with a grouch.
So I want to ask you this as well, because I know that this is super important. And you talked about nobody wants the sour face, right? When they're looking to spend dollars.
Right.
How important is our appearance, right? Like and I'm asking because I've tried to explain to folks before about like, you know, the type of tablecloth and what your setup looks like. Like, so how important are the aesthetics to our setup?
Now, I'll put it like this. If you know that you have a community, the aesthetics isn't even that major. It's not. If you know you've built a community, it's not even that major. But if you know that you're still in the midst of building that community, it's very important. It is, all the way down to your colors and all of that. Like you said, the neatness, having everything together, your cards, your flyers, you know, you want to have everything on point, but at the same time, try not to stress about it. Because I see, oh man, I've had so many come in for the first time. I had a few business owners that worked with me at pop-up shops, and it was their first pop-up shop, and they were super nervous. So, you know, I would tell them, hey, and they'd let me know way ahead, hey, this is my first pop-up. And I go ahead and let them know, hey, get into my community, read everything, because I give all types of tips and everything on how to set up and how to help them be present and not as nervous when it comes to selling.
Yes.
Selling to strangers, because we all are used to selling to family and friends, but it's when you get around to selling to strangers, because that's where your community comes from. Anybody can sell to their cousin and their sister and their uncle. There, a lot of times they buy out of pity, but after a while, it's time to build that community. It's time to build that community with those strangers, because, like they said, strangers will make you rich, and they will.
Yeah.
They will. Because how many cousins do you think I could actually sell a diaper bag to? Not many. And so I had to really learn how to build that community. I had to learn how to get, that trust. I had to put out that value. So, like I said, let them know what problems you solve. And then I'll also say this. I had one client that says, she's like, I don't think my products solve problems. I said, okay, well, what do you have? And she said, well, I have these knitted plushies that I sell. And I said, okay, yeah, I don't think plushies solve problems, but this is what you can do. You still can build a community. And she's like, okay, how do I do that? This is what you'll do. Get your plushies, take one at a time. Give that plushie a name, give them a birth certificate, give them a lifestyle set, and present it to, the platform that you're on, and make a big deal out of it. Sort of like those, what do you call them? American Dolls. The what now?
I was saying Cabbage Patch Kids, because that's when you said the birth certificate.
Yep. Something like that. You you create something that people feel they need to be a part of. And that's a big part of building a community. Something that they feel like they want to be a part of, a movement. And I told her, I was like, and take it one at a time. Put out, hey, this is Steve. Steve was born at such and such. This is Steve Powers. This is, because there was it was like medieval type of thing that she had going on. And that's what she did. And she sold thousands of those things. It was so funny. I thought that was hilarious though, and the reason I thought it was funny, because I wasn't an audience for it, but that's the thing that I came up with for her. I was like, you want to give them names, name them, and create something that you want people to feel like that they need to be a part of. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Building that community. I'm actually thinking, I think American Doll has a very similar idea. And then there were these plush things that folks used to collect them. Like they literally, you would see them in the backs of people's car window. There were tons of them.
I think it was it the Beanie Babies or Beanie?
Yes, Beanie Babies. And people would collect them. And I think, they may be worth some money depending on, because some of them were more rare than others. And so that was an amazing tip that you gave her that I'm sure helped her to make quite a bit of money. And that's what we talk about here on Wealth Building Wednesday.
Yes, you just got to think a little bit more deeper when it comes to branding. You just got to think a little bit more, or a little more deeper into it. I'll give one more example, then we'll move on. I had another client that did, she did holiday cards, and I asked her, I said, who is your target audience? And she's like, everybody needs holiday cards. I said, well, if that's the case, why are you selling them? And she was like, well, and that's when she went more into detail about the type of cards that she made. And she made cards for the African American community, and it wasn't the typical, she didn't have like typical sayings in them. It was very different things, off the wall things. Then she had the type of cards for I'm sorry for the term I may use, it may be the wrong term, but the gay community, I don't know the term that people are using. And that was mainly what she stuck with for a while, the gay community, and making cards for them, because that's what for some reason that's what flew off the shelves for her, and the way she marketed them. And I told her, I said, okay, now you really want to niche down to a certain demographic.
Mm-hmm.
I said, who do you feel like your cards reach the most? And like when she really dug into it and the way she marketed them, and I'm gonna tell you the platform where I met majority of my clients was on Threads. If you are a business owner, get on Threads.
Okay.
Threads is booming with like for business owners.
Okay.
I made some nice money on Threads.
Okay. Come
I
on,
made
Breds. Look.
Man, there's not money on Threads.
Okay.
Because I before I took them off my website because I just recently took down all of my digitals because I sold digitals. Whenever I wasn't taking clients, I sold digital products and that's a big thing right now, digital products. But I sold digital products that help with different tips and strategies, even down to collaborating, how to collaborate correctly, properly with other business, whether it's another business owner or collaborating with another content creator. And, as far as all the way down to what are the results? Why are you collaborating with this person? What can they bring to the table for you? And what can you offer them? All the way down to it and how to resolve issues if anything were to come up. But I took all of all of my digitals down because I'm in the midst of upgrading them all because that was like a year ago when I first put them up. And like I said, with being a business owner, you're constantly learning.
Mm-hmm.
You're constantly learning. So now I'm redoing all of them and I'm adding even more value to all of them. So that means the price of them probably gonna go up.
Yep.
So because I'm learning a lot,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's getting exciting. So right now, all I have is my free community where I still give out free tips, free information. Like I said, it's all on my website.
Okay. So now, and you mentioned the website. So I do want to make sure that folks, even though you are booked and busy and not taking clients, so that people can join that free community, I'd love to be able to put that in the chat. And what I'm going to do for folks, I have not done this in previous seasons, but I think what I'm going to do is go back and rewatch the video and then drop the notes, right? Drop notes into the chat to make it easier for folks to be able to follow along, because you dropped a whole lot of stuff. I started out, letting folks know what a content creator is and things like that. But the conversation is just so good. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. So I'm going to go back through and drop notes in here. But I do want to find out from you, how can people best connect with you? How can folks join the community?
Okay, so my website is patricecanay.com. Okay. And you can reach me simply on there. You can connect with me on the website. And then as far as the community, you'll just click that hamburger up at the top that drops down and click members area. And all you need is an email. Just enter your email in the email. It sends you a code. You lock that code in and you can there's different sections in there for everybody. There's Motivation Monday and what are the other things in there? There's different sections as far as collabing with people. Man, it's so much stuff in there. I haven't been posting there as much, but over the past 12 months, mm-hmm. I put quite a bit of information in there. There's worksheets in there to help with.
Well, Lord have mercy. Not sure what just happened there, but I am sure that she has given us some amazing information. I hope that she is able to log back in before the end of the show, but I do want to just encourage folks to always do what she said. Find your niche. Find the folks, whether it's the product or service that you want to offer, or the people, right? She told us to keep a millionaire, at least one, find one, but maybe three, at least three of them in our phone so that we can rely on that person's information, right? So if we have questions, we can pick up the phone and call, or we can just shoot a quick text to them and find out what it is that they can do to help us move our lives forward and to build wealth. Because listen, My granddaddy used to say, and she looks like she's trying to come back in. I'm gonna see if can you hear? We can't see you. There she is. I told y'all she was coming back.
Hold on, bud. Mommy's still busy.
Yes, I told y'all she was coming back. But yeah, I definitely want
I don't
to
know
make
what
sure
happened.
that. Girl, look, the enter in the nets. It's all right. Look, I was telling the people going back through what some of the things that you had told us about making sure that we have a millionaire, at least one, but hopefully three in our phone so that we can rely on their information and pick their brains when we have new ideas. Because it takes somebody who's been there in order to really like tell you what to do. And like you said, and how to level up, honey.
Oh, yes. I get on my friends' nerves all the time. All the time. One of them got a new number, and she think I ain't gonna.
Oh,
but one, yes. I like I said, anything is when people see you trying, they don't mind helping you.
And that's it. That girl, now you said a whole mouthful with that. And that's generally with anything. When people see you trying, right?
Yep.
Because there's a difference. You talked about earlier a client who basically wanted you to do everything. When people see you trying, it makes a huge difference, whether it's in the workplace or with your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to thank you. Listen, y'all, look, in full transparency, she was like, I've never done an interview before. Honey, I said, listen, we talk all the time. So what we're going to do is talk on, we're going to talk live like we're just talking. And that's what I appreciate you for your willingness to engage in this very important conversation. You are helping us kick off our new season. So y'all, if anything, and I'm gonna go back through and drop some notes in the chat, but if anything she said has helped you when you're considering starting your small business, if you're trying to scale your business, if you are new to content creation or considering content creation, if anything she said has helped you, we want you to like, tag, and share this video. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to be some notes in here because I got a whole bunch of stuff like just going around in my head right now. So I'm excited to drop all these notes in the chat and to all the folks. Just grateful for the information and all the folks that you're going to help with your willingness to share. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for the invite.
Yes, and tell my babies I said, hey, look.
I will. I got one standing behind me right now.
Listen.
And he's whispering, Mom, like.
Well, baby, we are wrapping up. So to the audience, I want to say thank you for joining us for another episode of Wealth Building Wednesday. And remember, y'all, that wealth begins with our mindset, our confidence, and our consistent action. No matter where you start, progress is possible. And the courage to take your next step is more powerful than any perfect plan. You might not have it all written down, but one day you will, and you'll be somebody else's example. If today's conversation sparks something in you, share it with someone who you know is ready to grow too. Yep, we're about growth around here. Join us next time as we continue breaking down what it really takes to move from work to wage to wealth and into life shaped by purpose and possibility. Until then, y'all, let's keep learning, keep leveling up, and keep building. See y'all next week.